want to say something about wealth. Wealth is different from income in some very, very important ways. Income is measured as a flow of earnings over a certain period of time, usually a year. This is my yearly income. It's a flow. Wealth is the result of that flow. Wealth concerns my assets, where I put my income. I may put my wealth into the stock market, or I may put my savings, and wealth and savings is what we're talking about. If I have any at all, I might put it into a house, or I might put my wealth into someplace else to keep it, a pension plan, stock market. Wherever you put your wealth, if you have any savings, your savings are basically what we're talking about. Wealth results from that flow, total assets at a particular time. But here's the thing, income also flows from wealth. What do I mean by that? If you have a bunch of stocks, you have a lot of value in the stock market. The reason I'm talking about all of this is people get very confused, and policymakers even get very confused about all of this. I mentioned Jeff Bezos, for example, Elon Musk. What do they live on? They don't live on their wealth. Their wealth is in the stock market, in shares of stock of Tesla or shares of stock of Amazon or whatever shares of stock they have. No, what they do is they borrow money from the bank, usually a big bank, and use their shares of stock. They're huge, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars, as collateral to get pretty good terms on a bank loan, and they live off of those loans. I'm looking at your faces, and I would say 20% of you have no idea what I just said. But we'll come back to that. This will become very, very clear to you. Total family wealth. This should be very clear to you. Here's the top 10% in terms of wealth. This starts in 1989, going through 2020. This is the top 10% in terms of total wealth. This goes up to almost the 90th percentile. This is the bottom 90% of Americans in terms of the total wealth that they have accumulated. That's the thing about wealth. It's very hard to accumulate it. If you're not earning very much, you may never accumulate wealth. Most people, and we're talking about in the United States, accumulate almost no wealth. The wealth they have is probably in their homes, in the value of their houses. If they don't have a house, if they're renting, then maybe their wealth is in the value of their car. And if they don't have a car, then maybe their wealth is in a savings account. But most people, relative to the top 10%, relative to the top 1%, have almost no wealth.